Raider Nation, if you want the Raiders to draft Jayden Daniels, I want you to click that like button right now because we got some juicy rumors going on around the Heisman Trophy winner that still gives me a chance to land him here in Las Vegas. Raider Nation, what's going on? Today's show is presented by Manscaped. And if anybody out there needs to save at least 20% off on the best male grooming products out there, go to manscaped.com, use code Raiders, because I'm telling you what, right now, we're hooking up the nation. So coming up here on today's show, we got some juicy, and I'm talking juicy, Jayden Daniels rumors that make me believe there is still a chance that the Raiders trade up for him. And I get it. I know people that watch the show, you follow Raiders, right? And that's what I do. I am committed to excellence in terms of I am looking up updates all day, every day, going on around the silver and black. However, though, there are always parts of me that wonder, like, could other teams be impacting different situations? And one thing that I want you to keep in mind for this show in particular is, yes, different teams can absolutely make things happen. Though, if the Raiders do end up getting Jayden, there's going to be a lot of things that have to end up going down. And if we're live, which we will be for the NFL draft, and I don't want you to miss it, click that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. That way, you never miss a thing. So let's kind of get in here to the latest going on around Jayden and why I'm hopeful that the Raiders could potentially end up taking this quarterback here. And it's because, per Evan Silva, Daniels' meeting with the Commanders didn't go as smoothly. And if you don't know who Evan Silva is, he's one of the most connected guys in the industry. He used to work with Matthew Berry, Roto World. He's got over 200,000 followers on social media. And Daniels attended a formal combine meeting, and the parties met privately after his pro day. I will admit, Silva has not said which meetings necessarily did not go well. But the reason why that I wanted to make this video is because I want everybody that is watching today's show to say it with me. Where there is smoke, there is a lot of fire. And to me, there is so much smoke going on around Jayden right now not wanting to be a Commander. And I promise you this, after you watch today's show, you're going to be like, holy shit, I don't think Jayden wants to end up going to the Washington Commanders. So let's kind of walk through this timeline here a little bit. And for people that watch this show, I get it. It's the off season, okay? It's the off season. There's a lot of rumors out there. And if anybody out there thinks that they know exactly what's going to happen in the draft, they're lying, right? But all we can do is at least follow the tea leaves, follow the smoke, because maybe it leads to some fire. So here we go. We're going to go through a timeline. So Daniels and Adam Peters' story. If you did not watch my video that I put out on this about, I don't know, a month ago, well then you need to stay in tune on this, because Eric Bickel, who he's the host of the Sports Junkies Co-Host on 106.7 The Fan and NBC Sports Washington, very, very well connected in the whole Commanders region, if you will, said his son showed him a text from a friend in Illinois during the weekend of March 2nd to March 3rd. That text said this. This is from EB's son. Tell your dad Jayden Daniels hates Adam Peters. If you don't know who Adam Peters is, he is now the new general manager of the Washington Commanders. And some of y'all are probably thinking, well, why does Jayden Daniels hate Adam Peters if they've never played together? I'm glad you asked. So we know that Jayden played at Arizona State. One of his close friends, Brandon Aiyuk, also played at Arizona State. And Aiyuk connected Jayden and Peters back in 2022 or in early 2023. That has not been confirmed yet, about declaring for the NFL draft. And Adam Peters apparently told Jayden Daniels that you don't have the talent to be picked before round 5, and your talent doesn't translate into the NFL. So if you're a young man and you're trying to figure out, hey, like, what do you think of me as a prospect? And now Jayden, knowing that he is the Heisman Trophy winner and knowing like where he's at, like, I get that sometimes people don't take this stuff all that serious, but put yourself in Jayden's shoes, right? Put yourself in his situation where somebody tells you that you're not good enough to play in the NFL, or you're not really going to ever be anything spectacular, and then you win the Heisman Trophy. Like, there is a part of me that wonders if you're Jayden, you're just like, all right, man, F you. I proved you wrong, so now guess what's going to happen here? Now I'm not going to want to go to your team, and I want to prove to you with that extra motivation that you've given me that I'm never going to make you look good. I'm going to go play for somebody else. What's interesting about this story is the story came out the exact same day that Daniels said cap to not wanting to be a Patriot. And the reason why that I'm throwing this in here is because on the timeline of all these rumors happening, Jayden was clearly on Twitter on this day, okay? Clearly on Twitter on like March 5th or March 6th. And there was a report that came out that Jayden, which is from JPA Football, which JPA has since deleted, and I get it. There's a lot of these people out there that they just throw stuff at the wall and see what happens, not expecting that players are going to, call them out on it. So here's the tweet that essentially started getting a little bit of traction, and it was around the idea that Jayden Daniels does not want to play for the New England Patriots. Jayden quote tweets that, says cap. However, I said on this show, and I still think that it's weird, that Jayden has never publicly come out and said that, no, like these Adam Peters rumors aren't true, or no, it's not true that I don't want to play for the Commanders. So there was a day where all the circulation around Jayden was Jayden and Adam Peters do not get along. He doesn't say anything about that. All he does is call out the comment of, no, that he doesn't want to be a New England Patriot. So coming up here, I got more reasons why Jayden Daniels does not want to go to the Washington Commanders, and I'll get into all of that, but I do got to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Manscaped. And if anybody doesn't already know, Manscaped is changing the game. And why are they changing the game? Because did you know, one man every hour, every day is diagnosed with testicular cancer. In fact, testicular cancer is the most common form of cancer amongst men aged 15 to 35. With April being National Testicular Cancer Awareness Month, our friends over at Manscaped have partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to help spread awareness for men's health and early cancer detection. Visit manscaped.com/TCS to learn how to check yourself for early signs of cancer. And as always, you can use promo code Raiders for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. In addition to providing the right tools and solutions for comfortable and easy grooming, Manscaped is committed to raising awareness and giving support for fighters, survivors, and families impacted by testicular cancer. That is why they will be donating $50,000 to the Testicular Cancer Society, which helps save lives and balls, by going over to manscaped.com/TCS and sharing their funny, educational, check yourself video. And while you're at it, grab 20% off and free shipping with code Raiders because, like a famous American philosopher once said, take care of your chicken, your balls, and your mentals. Now, I don't got to sit up here and tell you that I use Manscaped. If you watch the show enough, you'll know I use Manscaped products. Chugs uses Manscaped products, not on his chest, but as he's made it very clear, everywhere down below. And if you're sick and tired of 96 and like Angel Diaz here and you want to get a little 69 action in, Manscaped's the right place for you. And on top of that, I'm a big believer that I want to support companies that I feel like reflect me. Manscaped lets me be me. They also have amazing, amazing products to make sure that I'm looking good from head to toe. And I know you guys don't get to see me realistically from my belly button down, but I'll just say this. I'm looking pretty good. My Ken Stabler, not rocking in a George W. Bush, thanks to Manscaped. All right, let's keep it rolling here with Jayden Daniels and not wanting to be a part of the Washington Commanders. Then there's this brand new story that pops up from Evan Silva. So not only have we now had two stories from very well credited people, you're talking NBC Sports Washington, and then Evan Silva. And again, maybe I'm a little bit more hyped up on the Evan Silva train because I'm a fantasy football guy, but Evan has also created his own company. He is really, really well known in the circles of NFL players. And for Silva to come out and say that he heard that the Commanders meeting didn't go as smoothly, like, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I saw this report, I saw this story, and I'm like, here we go again. Another story around Jayden Daniels not getting along with the Washington Commanders. And I wonder if it's part of that of carrying a chip on your shoulder. Like, we're all human beings at the end of the day. And I'm telling you right now, like, and I get it. Like, when you're at this level, right, and you know that, all right, I could potentially get picked number 2 overall, which, yes, you make more money. But if I'm Jayden, I'm thinking long term. I'm not thinking second-round pick. I'm thinking, what team gives me the best chance to get that next contract? Because next contract means for Jayden Daniels, that's at least $50 million a year. So I want to go to the team that I believe gives me the best chance. Do you really want to play for a dude that said that you're never going to be all that great? I don't know if I would. So what's interesting about this is the exact same day again. Jayden, the same day, didn't deny that he didn't want to be a Commander. He just said that he was excited for his upcoming visits. So what's interesting, yet again, about this is New England Patriots people, they start putting out this story because Silva said that he had a bad meeting with Washington and that Jayden, all he said was like, I'm excited to go home. And for those who don't know, he's excited to just, I think, go home. He's been on the road for so damn long. But yet again, had the opportunity to shut down the rumors that he does not like the Washington Commanders, that he did not have a good meeting. He didn't do that. And I know that Jayden has a top 30 visit with Washington on April 15th, and we can probably figure out there's going to be new stories, there's going to be new reports that come out after that. Maybe the reports are all that everything is totally fine. I don't know. But all that we know right now is that there is a story going on that Jayden does not get along with Adam Peters, that Jayden's meetings with the Commanders have not gone well, and Jayden has been on social media to shut down other rumors, but he has not shut down the rumors that him and the Commanders have not gotten along. That's interesting to me. And if it's not interesting to you, then hey, that is what it is. But to me, for everybody out there that thinks that, oh, Jayden's off the board at 2, I don't think that at all. Because until it actually happens, there's always a chance that he could land in silver and black. So here's your opportunity right now. Crystal ball time. Who will be the Commanders' draft pick at number 2 off the board? We know Caleb Williams is going number 1. Done deal. It's already happened. Now, the Commanders have at least offered a trade offer to the Chicago Bears, which has been reported that Chicago shut down because they want Caleb. And that's also the part of me where I'm like, we knew Cliff wanted Caleb. I think after that, anything is possible. Who will the Commanders draft at pick number 2? Let me know down below. For me personally, I'm actually going to go with Drake May. Drake May is the QB that I believe ends up being a Washington Commander. And if it's not Drake May, there are some other QBs that sure you could potentially think of. Like there's been a lot of hype around Michael Penix Jr. I get it. Bo Nix ain't going that early. To me, it comes down to 2 names, Drake May, or it was also reported by Tom Pelissero about a week and a half ago that McCarthy was the number 1 QB for Washington. And sometimes NFL teams do certain things. Washington seems like a team to me that would take a J.J. McCarthy at number 2 overall because he's a winner. He's 27-1 as a record. I'll admit, I do always say you got to follow the Vegas odds. And the Vegas odds do still have Jayden at -150. But guess what? If I put my money where my mouth is, I'm going to go with Drake May at +130. And I would also put J.J. McCarthy at +600. Because to me, it's going to be one of those 2 guys. I do not see Jayden Daniels wanting to go play with the Washington Commanders based on all the rumors that have been circulating out there. And honestly, man, just based on overall fit from top to bottom. So Jayden Daniels not going to go to the Commanders. And coming up here, I got the cherry on top. The cherry on top of why Jayden will not be a Commander. Why he won't be going to Washington anytime soon. But friendly reminder again, one of the things that I wanted to start doing is creating more content of face-to-face interactions. And last week I talked about doing a Zoom call. And I did a Zoom call on Wednesday, and I got to give a shout-out to Lord Buddy Bear and David Zahn because they were the 2 that figured it out, and they were the 2 that showed up. However, I was also told by a lot of people that they couldn't quite figure it out. So here's the thing. Next Zoom call, Wednesday, April 17th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the time Buddy Bear told me he can make it again. That's the time David Zahn told me they can make it again. So for that reason, that's the time that this call is going to be. And if you're like, Mitch, I was a part of the Zoom and I wasn't able to join, I've already sent out the email. I sent it out today. So if you did not get your email today, that means I don't know that you want to be a part of the Zoom call. We're going to figure out extra deals as the week goes on. I'll tell you exactly how to get a part of this next Wednesday. But if you were supposed to be part of our Zoom call on April 10th, then I also added you to this Zoom call right here. So I do, though, want to give a shout-out to Zahn and Buddy Bear. There was a lot of jokes. There was a lot of laughs. We talked for probably, 50 minutes to an hour. But it was cool because I got to know them a little bit better. They got to know me a little bit better. I showed them around the office here a little bit. My point is we do so much content where I just talk to a camera. Like, I wish you guys could see what we have here. It's literally, I'm just talking to a camera. To actually be able to like talk face-to-face with people is a total game changer, and it's something that I want to be able to do more often. So please put in your calendar. I'm going to start doing Wednesday Zoom calls. I'll tell you how you can join throughout the week here on the Raiders Report. Let's go to the cherry on top. Malik Neighbors and Jayden Daniels. They were on an Instagram live call, and Malik, his teammate, who also is probably going to go top 6 in the NFL draft, hints Jayden to the Raiders. And he didn't say that Jayden's going to the Raiders. But what he did say, and if you're smart enough and you can connect the dots, if you're like, think about like the situation, right? Malik Neighbors, Jayden Daniels, both top 6 picks, both obviously homies, right? Would you put your best friend or one of your really good friends on blast like that if you didn't think that there was at least a little bit of truth to it? I know I wouldn't do that. So the fact that both of these guys are on IG, and the fact that Neighbors hints that Daniels could partner with an old homie in front of 2,000 people live on an Instagram, like that's not something that you do unless you think that there is a little bit of a chance of it happening. If you didn't see it, this is what Neighbors said to Jayden Daniels on Instagram Live. I'm going to tell you where our boy Jayden is going. Hey, you're never going to believe it. He might partner with an old homie. And the way that Malik said it, like you could tell like when he started saying it, he was like, oh shit, I don't know if I should say what I'm about to say. And then the fact that he just went out and said like an old homie, and then Jayden responded with, wow, that's what you're going to do? Okay. And you could tell like on both of their faces, like, man, like I don't know if I should have said that because it's going to create speculation. And they both know that 2 top 6 picks, it is going to create a lot of speculation. But all I know is this. Did you know the Commanders have no Jayden Daniels overlap on their roster or coaching staff? There's not a single player. There's not a single coach. Nobody has overlap. I can make an argument that Antonio Pierce, that's overlap with Jayden Daniels. Brandon Aiyuk, that's some overlap with the San Francisco 49ers. Hell, Kayshon Boutte, receiver for the New England Patriots, that's some overlap with Jayden Daniels. My point is, if Malik makes it sound like he's going to rejoin a homie, there ain't no homies in Washington. So because of that, he's not going to the Commanders. So in conclusion, Jayden Daniels has had multiple chances to turn down the Commanders' rumors, and he simply hasn't done it. Multiple credited sources have said Daniels and Washington's relationship is not a solid one, and Jayden might partner with an old homie, according to his homie, Malik Neighbors. You know who that homie is? Spam it down below. It's AP, baby.